Welcome to the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Faringer, an attorney, spiritual guide, and wealth activator. I'm here to help you align your mindset for abundance and break through any glass ceilings with money. If you're ready to embrace your highest calling, manifest with more ease, and create a life that feels lighter and more aligned, then let's dive in. Hello. Thank you for joining me today. I am Brianna. I'm the host of the Wealth Embodied podcast. I'm going to be talking about something today that has come up. These are questions that people have raised to me in different groups and settings that I've participated in over the last few months when I have done group workshops around different money topics. And so this is about evidence, having evidence in your life that change can come into your life or that things can be different from what they have been. And having evidence for a change is so important because it's actually what allows you to embody a shift or a new mindset in your life. Because when you have evidence for it, then you can start to see, oh, when I start to think differently about this thing, things start to come into my life that are different. But if you have been in the same mindset for a long time, you are going to have evidence that supports it. That's why it continues. Because when we have a particular belief or a mindset around something, and I'm going to give you some examples, but if you have a belief about something, you are going to have things that continue to come into your life that support that belief, evidence that you should perpetuate the mindset. If you didn't have that evidence coming in, then you would be much more easily able to shift the mindset. But it's having evidence that things can be different that can really help make a major change in your life. And I want to help people understand how to do this when the evidence doesn't already exist for you, because it doesn't. And I'll give you some examples, but it's really important to recognize that the beliefs that you have are going to be continually perpetuated because your thoughts are creating your reality, and the thoughts that you have inform the action that you're taking in your life. So when I give you some examples of this, it's going to make a little bit more sense. But most people do want to change in their life, but what they're really looking for is proof or evidence that not only it can be done, but that it's safe to change. And if you don't have those beliefs already, you're not going to have evidence that's coming in to help you shift it. And so, if you're really looking at this belief or this, not belief, I would call it a fact, your thoughts create your reality. When you start to think differently, your life isn't always going to necessarily immediately reflect that. Like if I want to change a mindset today, it's unlikely evidence is going to come in today, right? And then it leaves me sitting in this place of like, well, but nothing is happening. So I want to address that in ways that you can maybe help shift the mindset a little bit more quickly. And I'm going to go through that again with, using some examples so that it makes more sense in the context of what's actually happening in your thoughts as well as how it relates to money. And so this conversation is really about how to work with the evidence, not fight against it, and how it can help you make conscious shifts in your life. So if I was to say today, I'm going to use this as an example. Let's just say I have a belief that I can't save money. Right? If I have a belief that I can't save money, I'm not going to save money. Number one, because I'm not going to align my actions with somebody who saves money if I'm constantly telling myself I can't save money. And if my belief is that I can't save money, I am going to continue to have evidence, people, circumstances, events, things will come into my life that continue to show me I can't save money. This is what happens. This is why people continue in the same patterns. If different things were coming in, they would be able to shift it organically. We wouldn't be having this conversation. So if I have a belief that I can't save money, how do I shift that if I don't have evidence that I can save money? And this is a question that people have asked me. So what I always start with very, very, very first thing is whether or not you believe that's true, right? Like I would ask the person, do you actually believe that you can't save money? Do you actually believe that's true? Or is that just something you've been telling yourself? sometimes people don't even believe the stories that are going through their own minds. And so I always ask that question to say, do you really believe that? Or is that just a story you've been living by because it's the evidence that you've had for it, right? Or maybe somebody along the way told you that you were bad with money. And so then you developed this belief that you were irresponsible with money or you're bad with money and that you can't save it. I don't know. People have a lot of things that happen in their lives. So I would ask you to look at, do I even believe this thing to be true? If you do, okay, that's fine. How can we shift it? And if you don't, even better. It's easier to shift things that you don't believe are true. So it's always worth asking the question, do I actually even believe this belief? The answer is probably no. Everyone can save if they change things that are happening in their lives, even people who think they don't have money. But the point is really just to be focused on the mindset, right? So if I'm focused on I can't save, your thoughts are going to shape what you notice and what you respond to and what you say yes to, right? So the things that are coming into our life are not random. We are magnetizing experiences, people, opportunities that match our beliefs, the expectations we have for ourselves, and how we feel in our bodies, our nervous system patterns. So when you're in a mindset that isn't serving you, you're going to find plenty of evidence to support it, right? I can't save money. You're energetically and behaviorally aligning with that. That is now your truth. So this is not about developing like criticism over what your beliefs are. It's just an awareness. Okay, I have this belief I can't save. Do I believe that's true? No. Okay, before I get into trying to find evidence for this, I want to have you kind of stop for a second and realize that a mindset shift sometimes just requires you being willing to connect to something else. I call this reframing. You can call it whatever you want. Reframe the statement, reframe what the thing is to what it is that you want to happen. If I want to shift the belief that I can't save money, maybe I want to align instead to I do want to save money. I want to save money. I want to learn how to save money. I'm open to the ways that I could start saving money. Those things are probably all true. Just pick one. Just pick something else that is not the behavior that you want to reinforce. I agree. So if you're like, I can't save, well, you're going to keep reinforcing that behavior in your life. If you say, I do want to save, that is a story. It's not a story. That's something that's probably a belief that you have that's true that you can connect to and say, okay, I actually believe that's true. I do want to save money, right? This is just coming up with a reframe. What's a different statement that I can connect myself with, that I can look at and say, I believe that's true, and it's actually helpful to me. Telling yourself you can't save money is not helpful. Telling yourself you want to save money is more helpful because evidence is going to start coming in that aligns with your intention. Your thoughts are creating your reality. If you think things can be different, things will come into your life that show you they can be, right? But this is like, it's hard to make the shift if you don't have the evidence for it. So one thing I will tell you, a little bit of this is fake it till you make it. I know a lot of people don't like this. People used to say this to me all the time, and I used to think it was so stupid, but now I really align with it. And the reason is because I do believe that there's some things in your life, you just need to fake it until you make it. If you have a belief that you do want to save money, every time you hear the voice in your head that says, I can't save money, just be like, oh, that's not what I'm aligning to. I want to save money. Or I want to learn how to save money. Or I'm open to the possibilities that I can save money. Something else that sets the intention for what you want to support you. Because when you change the belief, the mindset, things that are supportive of it will come in, and then it's going to reinforce it for you, so then you can really embody the change. But you're not going to have evidence of that mindset right away. So this is very troublesome for people, and this is why I'm going to talk about ways that you may be able to find evidence outside of yourself. It's not because people are incapable of making change. It's because they don't know how to hold the space of making the change when the new evidence hasn't fully arrived yet. People become impatient. People think it's not working. Everyone, brings things into their lives at different speeds and at different times. I manifest certain things very quickly in my life. Other people are going to manifest certain things more quickly than I do. Or some people are just slower. It's okay. You have to allow yourself time for the change to set in, right? So when I say fake it till you make it, something that I recommend all the time on this podcast and when I'm talking with people in person, put Post-it notes everywhere. Put notes on your computer. Put messages on your cell phone. Set alarms that like you have to look at your phone and reinforce a mindset that you're trying to shift, right? So if I'm trying to shift the mindset that I can't save money, and I just say my new reframe statement is I want to save money, I'm going to write that on Post-it notes and put it everywhere. I'm going to put it on my bedside table. I'm going to put one on my bathroom mirror so I see it when I get up in the morning. I'm going to put one on my purse because that's one thing I carry around with me everywhere I go. I'm going to put one on the steering wheel of my car. I'm going to put one on my desk at my office if I go to an office. I'm going to put one on my computer. Maybe I make that my screensaver on my computer. Anything that you can do, you guys, to remind yourself constantly, oh, I'm trying to shift this belief. People think that they can just reframe it by telling themselves once. That's not going to work. It might work for something, like something here or there, but that's not going to be your go-to. You just have to keep practicing and reminding yourself over and over and over that you're making the mindset shift until it just becomes part of you. This does not take a lot of time. It just requires you to be intentional about it. So if you really want to make a shift, start writing Post-it notes and putting them everywhere. Who cares if you live with other people? If you are worried about what other people think, that's another opportunity for healing. Why do you care? Okay, so we won't go down that road right now, but you have to create ways for yourself to remember. It's practice, practice, practice. I do this for myself all the time, and I've been doing this work for a long time. If there's something I need to remind myself of, I will write it down on Post-it notes and put it in places that I am regularly walking by so that I cannot forget it. Oh yeah, I'm working on that thing. But if you really want to have evidence before you feel like you can make the shift, and I'm not telling you do, it's just that sometimes that's something that people will say to me, well, how do I make this change if I don't have evidence that it's happened in my life? And I'm going to offer you 2 ways that are really good ways of trying to do that. Number 1, reflecting back on the things that have happened in your own life, even if it's not the exact same thing, right? So let's just say if I'm going to reflect back on my own life, I may not be looking back at a time where I saved money, but there have been times in my life where I was able to change things, or where things were different and they may be the way I wanted them to. Everybody has this. You know, people get into times in their lives where they think nothing is going right. The reality is most everything is going right for you. It's the perception that you have about what's happening. If you can look back at things that happened in your life, look back at things that you have that are positive memories, times where things were going well, that's evidence that things can be good, number 1. That's evidence that things can come into your life that you want. That you can have the things that you want, even if it's not about the mindset shift. This is just about finding evidence in your life that things can be different. Maybe go back to a time where you felt more confident, peaceful, abundant, supported. A moment where something worked out when it felt impossible. Everybody has this. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've been through, how good or how bad your life has been. You have moments that you can go back to and say, oh, this thing seemed impossible, but I was able to make it work. And then remember, this thing did change in my life, or something happened and it moved from what I perceived as negative to positive. That's evidence that things can change. It's evidence that things can go your way. The fact that it happened once means it's possible for you, right? You don't have to have constant proof. You just need enough evidence for yourself to start to shift this belief that you've had for a really long time. By the way, most people's beliefs are a lot more, they're usually harder to shift than, oh, I can't save money. But that's one. I like that one just because, I don't know. I feel like that should be an easy thing for people to shift, especially if you change the mindset, then the actions that you take in your life and how you spend your money are going to start to align with you actually being able to save. But You don't have to have constant proof that you can do the thing. You just need a little bit, right? So if you have to refer back to a time in your life where things were different, where they felt like they were going better, where they changed, where they went exactly how you wanted, or where something you thought was impossible in your life actually happened, that's evidence. You don't have to exactly have evidence of being able to save. Although you might go back to a time and say, oh, I was saving money back then. Why did that work? Right? Or, yeah, there was a time in my life where I was better at saving money, or I was able to save for a trip I wanted to go on. So I know it can be done. I just have to be willing to have a change in the mindset and allow evidence to come in that can be supportive of it. This other one is one that I actually really like a lot. And this doesn't work for everyone either, but that's why I'm giving you some options, is borrow evidence from other people, right? Look at the people in your life. Look at the people around you. They can be family, significant others, friends, children, siblings, coworkers, clients, whatever. And recognize that if this exists in someone else's life, it exists as a possibility. It just does. If other people can do it, you can do it. There's no rule that says these people are allowed to do this and you're not. These people are allowed to have money and you're not. Those are only rules if you make them rules, and that's not a rule, right? So you can go and look at somebody outside of you. It could be a public figure, a celebrity, somebody you know, so a random stranger on social media, which, by the way, I think is one of the best places to find evidence. If this exists in someone else's life, it exists as a possibility in yours. And this is not about comparing yourself to other people. It's allowing other people's lives to be evidence for you, not triggers for making you angry or frustrated or comparing yourself to them. It's about looking at other people and being like, oh, that person did that and so could I. So often, particularly on TikTok, and it's because I do gravitate towards videos where people are talking about money. The algorithm sends me all sorts of stuff about how people talking about hard times that they went through and how they got out of debt, how they saved money, financial advisors, all sorts of stuff, right? Like all the money stuff comes up on my TikTok. But if you want evidence of your life that other people can make changes in their lives, go to TikTok and put it like in the search. You're going to see all these people that were like, oh, I was $100,000 in debt and I was able to get out of the debt and save money. And here's the things that I did. And they're going to tell you exactly what they did. And so from an action perspective, those things might be helpful for you to be like, oh, I can do that, right? That's going to help you shift the mindset. Or if you just see other people doing it, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's really encouraging. It's motivating. I can do that too. That's how I view other people on social media and in kind of the, on TV or when I see celebrities and things like that. My belief is I'm not upset about those people that they have more than me. I'm not upset that they have more money than me. I look at them and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it, right? Everyone to me is evidence that I can have every single thing that they have in my life if I want to have it. So this is hard for some people. A lot of people don't like to do this, and I'll occasionally have people say to me, I believe those things can happen in other people's life, but not my own. If that is coming up for you now, or if it comes up for you, like if you were going through this exercise of like trying to find evidence that you can make a shift about something on social media, I would say to you, there's an opportunity for healing there. And that's where you should start before you dig too much into changing the mindset. Why is it that you have a belief that good things can happen to other people and not you? What happened in your life that made you doubt your value or your worth? And why do you think that you can't have what other people have, right? Those are just things. These are stories that we create for ourselves to prevent ourselves from getting the things that we want. I can assure you that every single thing that is available to other people is available to you just by the mere fact that it exists, that it's a possibility. If you start to reframe things in that way, you can use evidence of what is happening in other people's lives to really facilitate change in your own. I actually believe this, and I just spoke to a group of women this morning on topics around money, and one of the things that came up is I said I believe that one of the easiest ways to heal your issues with money is by spending a little bit of time on TikTok and recognizing how things are making you mad, when people are talking about money, what's making you mad, what are the thoughts that are coming up. Those are all opportunities for healing. When you get mad about other people and their money stories and what they have coming up, that's information for you to use to heal things in your own life. There's no better free therapy than social media. I think social media in general, I think, it does bring a lot of negativity into people's lives. I choose to try to use it in a way that can be helpful to me. Looking at ways that other people have made money and being like, oh, I can do that too, right? I love listening to other people talk about money, financial advisors, people who have been successful in making money, or they say they are, right? If you choose to view things in that light, you can start finding evidence of other people doing every single thing that you want to do and finding ways for yourself to do it. So let other people's experiences and their lives be evidence for you, not triggers. If they are triggered by what they're saying, that's opportunities for healing. But again, I want to go back to this. If you are looking for evidence outside yourself and you keep coming across this block, or you keep asking yourself, why do I think this isn't available to me? There's something deeper there that's asking for attention. What happened that made me doubt myself or my self-worth? When did I learn that good things don't last? Was there a time in my life where I felt other people benefited by believing, like other people benefited by me not having more in my life? Like those are some questions that come up and some things that can really help you reflect on why you have those beliefs. Some people develop these beliefs about their self-worth from experiences that they've had, and then they hold on to it for a long time. There are people that believe that they're here to have a really crappy life. I've had clients that have come to me with that story, and I just have to tell you, it is a story. If that is your story, there is definitely some deep healing that needs to happen, far than anything that I can, address in a podcast. But these just give you opportunities to figure out, where are some areas of my life that I can give some attention to and heal. But if evidence is, if you struggle with this thing that I can't change my mindset about something unless evidence comes in, then do these things. Look for evidence either in your own life or in other people's lives. Keeping in mind, it's what you choose to focus on that you are going to energetically attract to yourself and that you are going to align your actions with. So if I start saying to myself, I'm open to the ways I can learn how to save, things are going to come into my life that are supportive of that. I may have somebody that comes in that completely helps me change my spending habits or helps me change the way I save, just because I reset my intention. What you focus on grows. It's like watering a plant. If you're watering a plant, it's going to grow, right? So if you're giving attention to things that you do not want in your life, you are asking the energy and the universe to keep sending you things supportive of it. That's such an important thing to keep in mind. If I want to change something about money, let's say another belief I have is you can only make money if you work really hard, that's also a story that we've been sold and made to believe that's not true. You can make money without it being hard and without it feeling hard. Lots of people are doing it. Focus on what you love, not on what you think you have to do, right? That's not a true story, but let's say that was a deep-rooted story that I had for a long time, that you had to, in order to make money, you had to work really hard, and that led me to burnout. So if I wanted to work on shifting that, I have to say, okay, what do I want instead of this belief that making money is hard? Making money doesn't have to be hard. Even if I don't believe that in this exact moment, I can get behind it because that's what I want to have happen, right? I would rather feel in my life like things don't have to be hard. Or if I just want, I want making money to be easy, let that be your reframe. Making money is easy. You don't have to believe it in this exact moment. It's what you want to start bringing into your life. I want to have evidence that making money can be easy. How are all the ways that could come in? When you start to focus on that, you start to get the people, resources, and opportunities that are supportive of that. And then you get the evidence that you need to embody the shift. It starts in your mind, and then it happens in your body, and then it just becomes second nature. And that mindset that you had is no longer there. So those are some things I would recommend working on. Like if there is one particular thing that you know is a story that's really affecting you negatively, a money story, come up with a reframe, put it everywhere around your house so that you don't forget it. Fake it till you make it. Find evidence in your life or somebody else's life that it can happen, and just keep practicing. It takes time, you guys. Some things are going to take longer than others. I have had mindset shifts that I've been working on for years. I'm getting better at them, but I have some things that still affect me. I'm conscious of it. I'm always aware of where new evidence is coming in that can help me change it because I really want to. Some things are harder to fix than others. It's okay. Don't be judgmental or impatient about it. The more energy you create that is like this tense energy, the more blocking it is. But, notice what evidence you're collecting every day. See what's happening around you. The things that are happening around you are the result of your thoughts and your actions. So if you have things that are coming into your life that you don't like or don't feel aligned for you, I would ask yourself, is this supporting the reality that I'm moving toward? If the answer is no, what are the beliefs that you have going on in your mind, and what action have you been taking? You might be taking action towards the wrong thing and not realize it, by the way. And I don't want to say wrong thing, but if you're not taking action that aligns with the things that you truly want in your life, then you have to kind of look at things and see what's happening and say, how am I contributing to these things that are coming in? If somebody else can experience these things, it's not off limits to you. It's available to you. If somebody is a billionaire, you can be a billionaire. If somebody was able to get out of debt, you can get out of debt. There's lots of ways to do it. It's just a matter of finding what works best for you and what resonates. That's it. If someone else can do it, you can. There's no rules, you guys. It's what aligns for you and who you are as a person. And by the way, if your friend got out of debt doing one thing, it may not be the thing that works for you. That's why you have to kind of be willing to explore different ideas. There are some people that love the Dave Ramsey way of eliminating debt. That's great. It's never aligned to me, and I would never tell people that they should do that because it's not the only way. There's lots of ways that you can get out of debt. There's lots of ways that you can start saving. There's lots of ways that you can start doing things differently around money. You have to try things out and see what works. Also, we are all such different people. It's just like how I like some foods and other people don't like them, and vice versa. We are all different. We have to find what works for us. Find evidence that works for you. And if you can't find it, just stick with the mindset. I'm open to the ways that I can change this thing. They will come in. And so, just start with one belief. It can be a very simple one. Any belief, whether it's around saving, whether it's around building the kind of life that you want, whether it's around owning a house. It can be as simple as wanting to buy. Maybe you want to just be able to buy some new clothes or something. It doesn't have to be a lot. And by the way, buying clothes is not a bad thing, especially if it's what you want. But maybe you're like, I don't feel like I have enough money to spend on clothes and I'd really like to buy some more. Start changing the mindset and just let that be enough. Like the more you are open to changing, the more things that are supportive of you changing your life are going to come in. I guarantee it. It will happen. It just takes time, and everyone's different. So, one journal prompt that you can think about is, and I kind of talked about this already, but, where have I already experienced the thing that I'm wanting, even in small or unexpected ways? Was there a time in your life where you were able to do this? And where do I see it existing for others that I'm ready to allow it to be possible for me? If those are things that you're having a hard time doing, again, there might be some deeper healing that needs to happen, but this should help you figure that out. And then you can start to set your intention for healing that thing. Everything affects money. Everything. Everything affects everything you do in your life. So regardless of what the mindset shift is that you want to change, it doesn't have to be around money. It can be around anything. Just allowing yourself to make small changes and being willing to incorporate small things in your life is going to change what comes in. So I hope that was helpful for you. I know this, like I said, this is something that comes up for a lot of people. Just a note, I am not going to be releasing episodes for the next 2 weeks, which my episodes normally release on Thursdays, but the next 2 Thursdays are holidays. It's Christmas and then New Year's. I'm going to take a break off during that time, but I will resume releasing new episodes after the new year. So whatever it is that you do for the holidays, even if it's nothing, I hope that you enjoy them, you have a nice time, and that they bring you everything that you want. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Hey, before you go, would you love to receive my 3-step masterclass to easily create and hold wealth for free? It's called Effortless Money, and it includes the exact framework to start attracting money effortlessly and manifesting abundance with more ease. If you want it for free, all you have to do is leave an honest review of the Wealth Embodied podcast, take a screenshot of this episode and put it in your Instagram stories and tag me at Brianna_Faringer, and we will send you the free Effortless Money Masterclass. This is how my clients have manifested a $13,000 check, a promotion resulting in a $30,000 salary increase, and significantly improved relationships. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time on the Wealth Embodied podcast.